Hello. Welcome, welcome. Oh, hello, Devin. Hello, Victor.
Hey, Amanda, how you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Happy
Yeah,
11/11.
congratulations.
Sorry?
So congratulations on the book.
Thank you. Happy 11/11, and here is the book. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I'm just so honored that you're all here to actually celebrate this with me. So this is obviously the proof copy. This will not be what you receive if you happen to purchase the hardback version. Well, it's paperback, the print version. It won't have that ugly line through it. But I also, as everybody is joining, welcome. I just want to be very, very clear with you. I had a technical difficulty naturally with the bookshelf. So if anybody does wish to purchase the paperback version, please wait. I will notify you when it's officially formally ready. I'm just like in the waiting zone. It's out of my hands. Amazon kind of messed up. So, and I do hope to have it on other platforms going forward, but right now this was what I was able to manage in time for 11/11. So yes. Anyway, let me check the chat here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So appreciate you being here. So how is everybody feeling? You can comment in the chat, or, if you want to come on live, how are you feeling on this 11/11 portal day?
I'll go ahead. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling absolutely amazing, Amanda. And congratulations. Let me say that to you personally.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you get this finished and thrive. We did a special earlier, 11/11/11. Yeah. So it's because you're doing one at 11/11 time wise, right?
Oh, no. For me, it's 3 p.m. It's
Oh,
just
okay. It's
I'm
now then.
Eastern, so it's a time that works for a lot of people. It's my go-to.
Well, I just to add a little bit more, I think a lot has been done recently that can change the path our planet is on, and I don't want to get into that any further than that. But regardless, I'm going to live my life the same. I'm going to keep doing my work and keep learning, keep seeking. I'm still on my path. Still on my
Yes,
path.
I love that. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, by the way, we are recording, by the way, for anybody who does actually speak live. I probably should have said that in advance because I will probably post this on YouTube afterwards. So, Victor, I hope you're okay. And Devin, I hope you're okay with
Yeah.
being up there.
Cool.
Yeah. And it should just be recording the speaker view, just FYI. So, for privacy for everybody involved. And welcome to those who have come on in the last couple minutes. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness. So there is much to celebrate today. Oh, thank you. It is a powerful day today. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of the collective, probably most everybody here identifies as spiritual, a light worker, awakening, whatever term you particularly associate with or identify with. We're on this particular path and we can feel the energy. And we have been feeling, I know, because I've been seeing other people say this, but I felt it very palpably myself, a major energetic shift, a timeline jump, if you will, in the last week. And it doesn't have to do with any particular party per se. It's so much deeper and bigger than that. For me, what I perceive this to be is humanity taking back their power from systems of control and hierarchy. And we clearly still have a very long way to go, but this is very much a beautiful time of awakening and blossoming and reclamation and remembrance of who we really are and who we are here to be. So I just think it's very, very powerful and beautiful. We're moving through all sorts of portals and thresholds as we move forward. And, you know, what I see happening is, it didn't matter who won. This was going to be a time of reckoning no matter what. And there is going to be a dark night of the soul, a collective dark night of the soul with this next wave of awakening. I very much foresee that. So people who have been on the path, the call is now to really step up into our leadership and to shine our lights even brighter, more anchored in our truth than ever, because there's going to be a lot of pushback. We've already been seeing this and perhaps experiencing it a little bit. But to stay so anchored and have such a clear boundary of light around ourselves that that stuff doesn't rattle us or shake us from the path to get us into a space of questioning or doubt, because that is something that I had to learn in a very deep way. I was questioning myself very heavily after a lot of gaslighting I experienced a couple years ago. So I had to go really deep after healing a lot of, narcissistic, just to use a simple term, narcissistic abuse. And I also just want to presence that, there's a lot of people out there who say this isn't a spiritual war, that itself is an illusion, and that we are in a spiritual war. I would also just like to presence that there's so much nuance in the journey, and there's so much nuance in perception and perspective. So both are true. Both are true. Everything is an illusion. The evil itself is an illusion, but as we move through this collective awakening, it's a very real experience that people have. Fear is a very real experience that people have. And so to hold compassion for that, and to then recognize when we may be perpetuating this separation ourselves, even in minor, slight ways. So as we move through this threshold, I'm feeling a lot of beautiful light energy. And last weekend, I was very privileged. Well, I hosted a retreat, so I kind of set it up that way. But I was in Arkansas with a lot of the crystalline energy and the hot springs energy. And so I have a couple beautiful crystals sitting right next to me. And the energy is just very pure and very strong from that particular source in the world. So I have been feeling kind of not like I'm floating and disconnected. It's a different way of just feeling a little bit less pulled into the drama. I wasn't focused on the drama so much, but also just sharing my truth and expressing my truth. And as we move through this threshold, I do foresee this message of holding the miracle frequency, being able to receive miracles, being open to receiving miracles, but also holding that frequency for the collective as we move through the matrix. It doesn't matter if we perceive everything to be an illusion, we're still operating within this reality. And so this is another layer of nuance that I invite us all to consider and to embody, that as spiritual beings, we are living here on earth. And many of us, our role is to anchor in these higher truths into this kind of matrix-based reality to quote unquote break the matrix. So yes, holding the miracle frequency for the collective. I love that. Yeah. I appreciate that resonates with you. This was something that came through the other week, but it has been coming up again the last couple of days very strongly, very potently. And I just want to briefly share a card that I pulled last night. Stars in the Sky, Limitless Possibility. So this speaks to the frequency that I feel we are entering. 1111 is obviously always seen as a threshold, a portal energy. So this is an amplified portal. And It's, you know, a sign of alignment. It's a sign of awakening. I've been seeing it for years now, and it's very much a real energy if you connect with it, if you allow yourself to connect with it. And that's how I see all of this. So I'm gonna just give it another couple minutes just in case I have a couple messages coming through, but I'm not gonna check them. But in case a couple more people want to come on, I'll just share briefly about my book and then we'll get into the meditation. So the full title is Let There Be Light, Liberating the Heart of Humanity to Create Heaven on Earth. And I also just want to share, apologies that I don't yet have a copy that doesn't have this. I wasn't able to order one of my own until today anyway. But this is actually a real photograph in the background from an airplane. I took this picture from an airplane, and this was 8 years ago. And actually, it kind of holds a special place in my heart because this airplane trip was on my way to a retreat right after chemotherapy, my first retreat ever that I let myself go on. And it was a yoga retreat. And I went to Bonaire. I was completely bald. I went scuba diving, just having had a giant growth in my chest, not even thinking about the breathing apparatus aspect. I was like, oh, that was really ballsy. But 2.5 weeks after I finished 600 hours of chemotherapy, I went on this trip. I worked just enough over the summer to be able to pay for it myself. I had I had miles to purchase business class because it was off season. It was so cheap. I was like, oh, thank God I'm safe and protected on the airplane, but it was practically an empty airplane anyway. And so it was just one of these very guided experiences. And this book, the origin of the book itself, the words inside, originated as a 21-day series that I channeled in December of 2020, leading up to the solstice with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. I woke up, it wasn't planned in advance. I woke up on December 1st with this idea, light in the darkness. I have to go live every single day until the 21st and talk about the light in the darkness. I didn't know what each topic would be. I was like, 21 days of different topics connected to this. What is that even going to look like? And I just sat down with my mocha and I outlined 21 days. I was like, oh my God, this makes perfect sense. And I had never, I shouldn't say never, but I hadn't really been going live. Going live on Instagram in particular was terrifying. And then I started uploading it to YouTube. So that is where the book came from. And I edited it heavily. About 2 years later, I had the idea to actually create a book out of those transcripts, but there's so much that I edited and added in the meantime. So it's actually a very comprehensive journey. And the introduction sets the stage where we integrate science and spirituality as well on a lot of levels. So I really endeavored to pull in practical steps to heal thyself, as well as placing it in context of what humanity is experiencing right now with this global shift in consciousness. And of course, take it or leave it. Every single thing that I say may not resonate as the highest absolute truth for you, for where you're at right now. I also know that I am continuing to evolve, but this is how I perceive reality at this moment in time and what we are going through. And the most important thing, this is my ultimate conclusion, is to return to love and to come back into the heart space. And all the other details of, do we define this as 5D or heaven on earth or new earth? None of that really matters. Are we in 5D or skipping to 12D? Again, that doesn't really matter. What really matters is, are we operating through the Christ consciousness frequency? Are we operating in embodied harmony? And so this is the journey of how to actually get there. And I share my personal experience of healing. And of course, there's only so much I could share within the book, but I really endeavored to share the foundational framework for how to actually become that embodied version of self, operating in these higher frequencies. So there is shadow work included, there is limiting belief work included, there is drink your lemon water and move your body as the foundation included. So I really, I could share some of the different chapter titles if you like, but I really, and there's a medical disclaimer as well, of course, but I really endeavored to encapsulate the journey of inner alchemy with very practical methodology and steps that you can take. And in the center of the book, I mirrored it from based off of a journey of transformation, the hero's journey of delving into the darkness. You know, you have that awakening, which is the initiation, but then you have to actually go on the journey, the spiral into the heart of darkness, and then come out the other side lighter and freer and more embodied. So that is the journey. And in the heart of it, I really address how I perceive the truth of our reality. And so I do bring up some of the uncomfortable factors that, many people have not yet been ready to acknowledge about the systems and structures within our reality. And, to that end, in 2012, I was in grad school in London writing my papers on social psychology, consumer psychology, so on and so forth. And I remember one day, I don't know what particular paper or book I was working on at that time, book I might have been reading, or, studies that I was investigating. But I remember very distinctly having this thought come through my head. And I was like, kind of like open to spirituality, but very much not, very much not. And out of the blue, I just sat, it was so clear: the system, the shift, the awakening. Of course, this was 2012, and I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it meant something, and that it was big and that it was coming. That's all I knew, because I had no context for the term awakening. Like not really. I didn't know. And the shift, like what the heck did that mean either? But come 2020, I immediately returned to that moment, and I was like, it's happening now. And at this current point in humanity, I knew there would be another massive collective awakening. There would be another wave of awakening coming. And this is why I feel I was divinely guided to put this book out now, because I've been working on a few different books, and guidance is like, no, you have to get back to this one. And here we are. So anyway, oh yeah, thank you so much. I'm just reading the comments now. Oh, I am so grateful for you. Thank you for your support. Getting the car. Yeah. Oh yes. Thank you so much for listening as you move through your day. Oh yeah. I love that some of you are connecting with each other again here. So, all right. So with all that said, before I get into the meditation, does anybody have any questions about the book, the origins, the inspiration, anything? Feel free to write in the chat or come on live. Oh, I see a hand. Okay.
That's me. And just before I get my kid, I probably can talk for just a second. Hi, everyone. It was fun listening to you talk about your awakening, Amanda. It resonates with me. I had a similar thing where it just like happened all of a sudden. I didn't totally have context for it when it happened, and then it all started making sense. It reminded me that I actually wrote a National Science Foundation grant I wrote a grant called Ascend. I didn't know what Ascend meant. I mean, I wrote about it, apprenticeships in science and engineering design or something like that, right? But then anyway, so that was just fun to hear. It resonated with me, similar kind of thing. But I wanted to just say about your book, I was fortunate enough, Amanda shared an early manuscript with me, and I started reading it. I haven't finished. but I've started thinking about like, what would I say as a review? And again, I want to read more before I totally commit to what I would put in writing. But what I think I want to say is something like, you know, like you might read like, oh, this is a book about surviving cancer, or this is a book about healing, or this is like one woman's journey of like how to heal or something. But I want to say that, but then I want to say, but it's not that, right? Because what I really think the book you've written, while it does have like from the much as I've been able to read so far, because it was my daughter's like marathon birthday party all weekend for my 9-year-old daughter. It's a really, I think what it is it is a book about healing, but because we're all healing, right? Like that's what half of this awakening is. It's like healing, because we've been through trauma, whether we knew it or not. We've been through all kinds of trauma that we do. And even that word is kind of weird. I don't know if I like the word trauma, but we have healing that's happening, and that's the journey that we're on as a collective. But what I want to say is what I really think the book is about is it's a book about how to learn to listen to yourself, like how to learn to trust in the synchronicities, in how to know what choices to make, because that's what I think the age of Aquarius is going to be different from the Piscean age. It's like the Piscean age, it was like there was good and evil. There was like Jesus and Satan, you know, and it was like you could make the choices because there was a right and a wrong. And it was the age of compassion and like learning compassion for suffering. And so a lot of high spirits came and incarnated so that they could experience suffering, so that they could cultivate more compassion in their souls. But now as we move into the age of Aquarius, it's going to be a lot more confusing. And everybody, there's this buzzword of discernment. You know, we're all going to have to use greater discernment because there's going to be lots of things that seem spiritual, and there's going to be it's already happening, right? There's so many choices of like different healing programs and modalities and healers and spiritual guides, like, and how do you know which one to follow, right? But it's always ultimately going to come back to us having to make a choice. And it's not going to be as easy to make the choice, because it's going to be confusing, because it's not going to be black and white. It's not going to be Satan and God, right? It's going to be, well, there's these two spiritual healing paths. Which one should I go on? And ultimately the choice is only up to us. And how do we choose, right? We have to be able to find our inner guidance with our inner compass. So the more I kept reading, and as much as I've been able to read so far, I'm like, I think that's really why this is a valuable book, as much as it is inspirational about how people can heal and what some of the things we might need to heal from are, and how to go about that healing journey. It's really, I think, a beautiful story, and I'll call it a story of how you were able to navigate all these decisions, and how you were able to follow the guidance. And like you said, you're still awakening, you're still on your journey. So how you are still following that guidance, I think it's really a powerful example of how someone was able to do that effectively and meaningfully in a way that had healing results. That, you know, the proof was in the pudding, like it's working. But I think that's really the value of what you've written is, it's hard to know what choices to make sometimes, because it's confusing and
Oh. Whoops. Oh, there she is. Well, thank you so much. That was
just my car. I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I said what I wanted to say, so that was perfect. It cut me off.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for highlighting that. And I really love that perspective of, I also do feel like there are multiple stories within this book happening concurrently. You know, we live in a multi-dimensional reality. Yes, I talk about my journey of physically healing from cancer. I talk a lot about building the body temple up, but it's all layers of our being. And it wasn't just the cancer. It was about tuning into my intuition and trusting my own choices. That was a huge layer of journey, as I alluded to earlier as well, of self-trust and trusting in that higher power and not blocking myself from receiving. And that is, I think, why the subtitle came out the way it did, Liberating the Heart of Humanity. I talk a lot about coming into the heart space, out of the head into the heart, because I do feel that's been my personal journey as an overthinking Virgo perfectionist. And so today was a perfect example of me having to embody the lessons that I have been learning with the surrender of, shoot, the paperback copy isn't actually ready on time. And, I've been trying not to I've been checking my email like every 10 minutes to see if I get that update. And I'm like, okay, Amanda, this is the lesson. Just trust. Oh, thank you, Bridget. I'll have the replay up if you want to tune into the meditation later. I know it's late for you there. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. But yeah, thank you, Tamara, for bringing that up. Yes. Oh yeah, I'll definitely let you know when the replay is up. Take care. Bye. And did I have any particular guides any guides in particular who I felt was instrumental in the creation of the book? That's an excellent question. Honestly, all of them. In my dedication, I realized I had to just keep it vague, because if I really tried to sit there and list every single person that influenced this, or the acknowledgements rather, it would have just been too much. But upon thinking about it, upon consideration, I really do have to give credit to my embodied ascension mentor who came into my reality in 2019, and we were in a program together. And then a year later, she was hosting this. It was a different kind of container, but it was kind of more for coaching or whatever. And then I saw that she was hosting this, and this is when the synchronicities just shot through the roof. This was halfway through 2020. She was hosting a summit, and I was resonating with everything. And feathers and wolves and roses were guiding me through everything that fall. And it sounds kind of crazy, but this is another book that I'll have to write, is my full journey. But Washayla Sananda, I do have to give her credit, because it was right after we finished that course, that program, that I had this idea to do this. And I was more embodied in the wisdom of what this spiritual journey is. And I am very grateful that my journey took me to an embodied ascension course first, because I understood that this wasn't about going up and out and only connecting to galactics, which she very much does and did for a long time. But the core aspect of the journey is coming into the heart. And if you are not bringing those frequencies into the body, you're missing the point. That's a Luciferian act. That's Luciferianism, actually, if you're stuck going up and out, escaping reality, wanting to just be purely in the astral realms and traveling in the ether and not being embodied in this truth and saying, I just want to go home, that's not embodied spirituality. And you're not actually truly operating in the light that is Christ's light. So, and my teachings have brought me into all sorts of other realms that diverged from her particular path a little bit, but it's all ultimately bringing us home. So it's that point of coming into the heart space and really tuning in with what is right for us in this moment. What is the right next step for our path as we move forward? I have tuned into all sorts of teachings, from anthroposophy type stuff to galactic type stuff. And so it's weaving the different teachings into a coherent narrative is not always easy, because there are a lot of false teachings out there. And so when we can tune in to our heart space and really discern who is a pure channel, number one, are they bringing through information from a frequency of love and pure light truth, higher truth? Or is there a weird distortion in the frequency of the field of the channeler or in the message that they're sharing? Is a very key aspect of distinction. And the way to get there is to come into the heart space. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Christine, for being here. So I hope that makes sense. It was her question that I was answering. So anyway, with that said, let's now get settled. If there's anything else that you guys want to ask, and then of course we'll come back and I will share the link in the comments also to actually purchase it. But remember, if you want to actually buy the physical copy, the ebook is good to go, all good to go if you want to buy that one. The physical copy, please hold off. You will get a copy, but it will be the wrong one. I had to tell somebody to cancel their order this morning. Unfortunately, it will be one that has some errors in it, and that's just not the vibe. So I appreciate your patience on that. There was just a couple, a couple things in the lack of communication, and there was a literal technical glitch that I had to go to support last night, and they didn't know why it was happening. So it was one of those situations. You didn't know traveling in the cosmos and such in itself isn't wrong, isn't bad. That we can really open up to other realms, and this is actually how we access the other realms. This is how we do it. However, there is a nuance, and this is where we again have to come into a space of nuance and holding the multidimensional aspects of self. Many people in the community, unfortunately, practice escapism. They want to leave Earth because it's so dense and difficult to manage. It is hard being here in these times of chaos. Yes, it's hard to be in the body when we're anchoring in all these frequencies, but that is precisely the lesson for the majority of humanity here on Earth, especially for starseeds and empaths who are very sensitive. But we were born that way and came to Earth that way for a very specific reason, because the sensitivity is a blessing. It is not a curse. It is a blessing, because without that sensitivity, we wouldn't be able to perceive these other realities and these energies. That is what helps us, enables us to really open up to these energies and to these higher truths. So this is part of the alchemy, is not seeing it as a curse, as not wanting to escape the body, but actually bringing the beautiful frequencies into the body, elevating the body's frequency, if you want to look at it that way, to match the higher self, and not to escape out, but to really have so much gratitude for this miracle of life and for this body temple and for the earth, our mother, who has sustained us and who is inherently abundant. So this, I feel, is where some of the distortions in certain, and not all, there are a lot of people sharing truth out there. 333 on my clock, 11 333. But it's again honing that layer of discernment. And this isn't to blame them. Many of them believe that what they're teaching is the highest truth. There are some false light who know exactly what they're doing, but many of them just don't even realize it. And so we don't, like, it's important not to cast judgment on them. I was very angry so much resentment came up a couple years ago when I found out, actually even just a year ago, when I found out the full truth of, what this person had done to me, this false healer, and who, decent following on the internet where people were really listening to what she had to say. And I had a lot of resentment about that for a while, because I was like, this is so messed up. But then I had to realize that she is operating in total delusion, and she is suffering as well. And karmically, whatever, it's up to God. It's not my problem. Whatever her path is going to look like, but she too will return to the light, because we are all of the light. Even the darkest and most evil of us are of the light. It's all source energy working through us all. But anyway, I don't want to go too deep into all these crazy tangents. Before we get into the meditation, once we're out of the meditation, I welcome any further questions as well. But I hope that makes sense. And let's now anchor into our bodies. So I invite you to sit back. If you want to shut off your screens, do whatever. And you can close your eyes and just get settled into your body. So take some deep breaths and begin to tune in. Just begin to notice any sensations you feel within your body, any thoughts that might be running through your mind. Take a nice, long, deep inhale and slowly exhale, allowing your body to surrender into the moment. Take another nice, long, deep inhale, filling all the way up with the beautiful breath of life. And as you exhale, allow any tension, stress, or cloudy energy to release from the body. And with your next inhale, breathe into your heart space, imagining a beautiful golden ball of light beginning to grow, your beautiful heart light igniting and expanding. And as you exhale, imagine that beautiful golden light filling up your body, flowing into all of your cells and out into your energy field, filling the space around you. Inhale, imagine that light growing lighter and brighter. And as you exhale, feel this beautiful golden light completely fill your aura field like a beautiful golden egg of protection. And now I invite you to connect with the golden white light 300 feet above you, the light of our great central sun, our spiritual sun, the divine masculine holy father principle now flowing down like a beautiful waterfall of golden white light down through your crown, flowing all the way down through your spine, activating every chakra. And with your next inhale, breathe this beautiful golden white light into your heart space to merge with your personal light, growing brighter and brighter. And as you exhale, feel these lights merge and flow through your energy field. With your next inhale, breathe this light down from your heart all the way down through your root chakra, connecting with your earth star chakra about 12 inches below your feet, flowing all the way down like a beautiful golden column of light down into the crystalline core of Gaia, her beautiful sparkling iridescent plasma light, flowing and fluid. Feel these two lights merge. And now imagine her beautiful crystalline plasma essence flowing up as if through roots, connecting with your Earth Star chakra flowing up into your root chakra and all the way up your spine, connecting with each of the primary chakras within your body. Breathing her beautiful iridescence into your heart space, flowing into every cell of your being. And now imagining these three lights merging to create the Holy Trinity, to birth the Holy Child within. The golden white essence merged with the diamond crystalline essence of the Holy Mother, Divine Feminine Principle, to birth the Holy Child. And now imagine this golden iridescence filling the space around you. And with your next inhale, feel this light grow bigger and brighter, filling the entire room that you are in, the entire space that you are in. And with your next exhale, breathe this light bigger so it fills the entire building, the entire house you are in, like a beautiful light of protection. And with your next breath, imagine this light growing brighter to encircle the neighborhood where you are, bigger to encompass the entire city or town where you are, growing bigger and brighter so it now encircles the state, province, or region where you are in this moment. Growing even brighter to encircle the entire country, now the entire continent, and now surrounding the entire planet. Imagine beautiful golden rainbow light flowing and fluid like the aurora, a very pale pastel iridescent aurora, surrounding and encircling the light grid of the planet now. Connected with a pure angelic frequency, imagine the earth held in this beautiful angelic light grid. And now connect back down into your Earth Star chakra and imagine the light connecting with the crystalline grid of Gaia below, illuminating now like a mycelial network, connecting to all living beings in the planet. Imagine this light flowing through the roots, out around you, out through the entire grid. And imagine that light connecting up into the Earth Star chakras of every other being of that planet to activate them, to activate their light bodies. This beautiful golden iridescent rainbow light connecting you above and below in the field of oneness, the field of consciousness. And now come into your heart space. We'll descend 5 golden steps to enter the portal of your heart. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you see an emerald glowing door. And you step through this emerald portal into your beautiful emerald heart, at the center of which is the diamond crystalline chamber of your heart, the infinitely faceted diamond, reflecting infinite spectrum of iridescence, colors beyond which we can perceive in this 3D reality. reflecting the beauty and the multifaceted nature of the infinite possibilities available to us. Imagine one of those facets growing brighter. Notice the color and allow yourself to approach it. This facet now shimmers into plasma and becomes a portal that you can step through. Step through to find yourself in the beautiful rose garden of your heart. You look around you and recognize that you are in the center of your heaven on earth reality. Notice what you see. Notice what you hear. Notice what you smell. Notice what you feel. What does your heaven on earth look like to you? Pure azure skies, pristine crystalline waters, vibrant colors, vibrant life, joy, peace, the frequency of unconditional love emanating from every being. Who do you see in your heaven on earth reality? Who is with you? Breathe this in and anchor it into your knowing. You now notice a temple and a figure beckoning you to approach. As you step closer, you recognize this figure and you smile, recognizing that it is you. It is your higher self, bringing you into the temple of your heart. Your higher self guides you into a chamber at the center of the temple with a beautiful gold-framed mirror, massive, full length. You can see both of your reflections, but you know this is no ordinary mirror. It is a mirror that will help you to see through the illusion, to see with absolute clarity, to see what needs to be released in order to step into the next version of you that becomes the co-creator of heaven on earth, that allows you to perceive the next most aligned step for you to take to become the leader of your life. Your higher self is beside you, ready to be asked any questions you may have. As we step through this portal into our heaven on earth reality, what is it you see? What is it you are ready to receive? Who are you ready to be? Your higher self now turns you to gaze them directly in their eyes. And they give you a big hug. And then suddenly they begin to dissolve. They don't go anywhere. Their energy field merges into yours. You gaze back out into the garden, confidently taking steps forward to return to the portal that will bring you back into the crystalline chamber of your heart, knowing that you can return here anytime for guidance, for remembrance. You take one more look around you and bring this vision with you to guide you and to keep you anchored in the highest truth that is here to be birthed through you. Step back through the portal now into the crystalline diamond portal of your heart. Feeling these beautiful iridescent aurora rainbow frequencies moving through you, these beautiful golden frequencies flowing through you. And the deep knowing of who you are. Now step back through the emerald portal to the 5 golden steps. Come back slowly, gently into the here and now. Coming back into your body, bringing these frequencies with you. And when you're ready, I invite you to move your fingers and toes, to open your eyes when you are ready, and ideally to take some sips of water. Make any movements that your body desires in this moment. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that that was supportive for you, Anda, and the farm. Thank you for being here. I imagine you have a very beautiful space. The farm at Katowice. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I am very curious.
Hello.
Mm.
It's I'm coming to you from the farm at Katowice Creek in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yes. Hi. It's
Hello.
lovely to connect with you.
You as well. Thank you. That was so beautiful.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah. Oh. Well, I invite any other feedback or sharings, any experiences from the journey, or also any further questions about the book. Oh, you're so welcome. And I'm so grateful that this resonated with you all. I never know what's going to come through in advance. And that was what came through today. And Tamara, I saw that you have, oh, you have to run. Okay, thank you so much for being here, Pam. Did you have something else you wanted to say, Tamara? I saw the hand thing.
I had just left it. I never took it down from before,
Okay.
but I'll just say I saw there's a question about Luciferian. Somebody was asking. I don't know if you want to address that in the chat, and then yeah, I'll just say about the meditation was beautiful. It resonated with one that I did with my other group early this morning. We're deep into this sort of twin flame thing. So, but it's really like merging the Vesica Pisces and all that. And so it was, and we were in this morning, we also gave birth to a holy child. So that was like a lot. I was like very validating that like both meditations I did for 1111, like many of the same themes came through. And I will say for me, the most poignant moment in that meditation was watching my higher self like dissolve into me. It was like this sparkly ambrosia amber kind of color. And just the idea that our twin flame really, because it's 1111, right? So it's like kind of appropriate. This idea of merging with our twin self and just really recognizing like it can be this other aspect of your own self. So it was really beautiful, that visual of like all this twinkly energy just like dissolving into me. That was a highlight.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, very validating to know that the same energies are coming through from multiple different channels. It's source energy is what I connect with above all. And just to since you mentioned twin flame, of the 1111 portal is very much a twin flame portal, but twin flame isn't necessarily a romantic dynamic. It is first and foremost, it is actually an internal process of inner union of the masculine and feminine. So people can be on a twin flame journey and not have a quote unquote physical counterpart that is their twin flame. So I think that's an important point to distinguish. And even if you have a divine counterpart in the physical, this twin flame journey is still first and foremost about yourself. That is actually necessary to come into union with yourself before physical union can happen if you actually have a divine counterpart. And that's, I think, what a lot of people miss. And it's this dynamic that helps people it's a mirror dynamic that shows you where you're still operating in codependency, or you're still in that avoidant, anxious energy, something like that, you know? And so I just, since you did bring that up, Tamara, thank you. Because this is the 1111 portal where a lot of people are focusing on that energy. It's not so much about any external relationship. It's first and foremost about the internal relationship and coming into wholeness. Healing back to wholeness is actually the phrase that came through to me in 2019. And I knew I had work to do to get to that point. Yeah. Oh, and Victor, I want to you need to head. Oh, I was going to give you an opportunity to quickly come on, but you got to go. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's 4 on the dot. So we've been here for an hour. Thank you to everybody who is still here. And yeah. Okay. What else? Such a magical meditation. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really important to understand that. Yeah. Keep in mind the yeah. Yeah. There's a comment that Mary Magdalene and Yeshua were siblings and playmates for many lifetimes before they came as lovers. So yes, I've heard a lot of people say that same thing, that the friendship component needs to come through first and foremost. If there is a romantic component involved, there has to be a foundation of absolute respect and freedom for the other person to live authentically. So I'm glad you jumped on and got experience how it feels from the other side. Oh, yes. I'm so glad that you were here and that it resonated with you. Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Oh, and Devin, there's your comment. I knocked you out again. Generated a lot of heat. You're actually sweating. So that's interesting. I heard somebody say that they had this experience yesterday evening when the 1111 portal opened, that they experienced quite the opposite, that they had intense chills. But when these energies move through us, they move through in different ways and in different ways that we particularly need in the moment. And it's all wonderful. It's all perfect. And yeah, to just allow it to happen that way. It can be experienced in so many different ways, but that does tell you something was moving through you. So that's cool. All right. Anything else? Anything else?
How do you want, for people who do order your book and get the opportunity to read it, how do you want to receive reviews? Is it best for people to just leave them directly on Amazon? Do you want them to email you, or like what's your idea?
Well, yes. I think legally I can say if like if anybody writes any kind of review in the next week or so, I don't know if that's even realistic for everybody to read the book and review within a week. But I will offer a one-on-one session, and it doesn't have to be a positive review. Legally, I have to say that, but it will be a rabbit, out of the rabbit hat kind of drawing if anybody writes a review. And if whatever it is if your name is like not your name, so like just screenshot the review or the Amazon. You don't even have to show me, I think, what the review was. I think Amazon tends to send if I'm correct, they will send you a notification that your review was submitted. If you even just send me a screenshot of that, then I'll know that you submitted a review and that's valid. So I don't even have to know what the review says technically, if that makes sense. Oh, you had purple color visions in your third eye. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so I'll send a follow-up email, but yeah, Amazon is ideal because that will help more people see the book. It's just part of the game because Amazon is the dominant player in the industry. To have a presence on Amazon for anybody is kind of essential. And I am looking into the different options that I have going forward in addition to Amazon. It's number one, it's easy, but it's also kind of essential to have a presence up there. So currently it's available on Amazon, and I'll have to keep emailing you guys, or to send everybody an email. Oh shoot, I hope I remember everybody that was here, because I just to make sure I have everybody's email, because I don't know if I do. But
you should screenshot this right now, or screenshot the participant list.
I should have done it before a few people got off. And hopefully also
People made like a comment too. So if you screenshot
yeah.
comments before it's gone, then
I can the comments will download too. Yeah. Thank you though. That was a good reminder. Yeah, so purple is the thing. Yeah, the violet flame has been coming through for a lot of people. I've been kind of just lying down and seeing purple in my mind's eye a lot of the time. Yeah, red versus blue. Yeah, this is why I've always loved purple. Unity consciousness. And it's the third eye, so there's a lot to be said for that. And it's the masculine principle. So it's this divine masculine energy that is really coming in to be healed and to be embodied. So, oh, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yeah, so it's available on Amazon. And I'll keep you all posted when the physical copy is actually available. I am a little bummed out, but just surrender that this is how it was for today. But yeah, the ebook is all good to go. It's the proper manuscript, the final version with all the updates and edits. This one is just taking extra long to process, and I couldn't do it when I was supposed to. So we've got delay on delay. Yeah. Divine timing. Maybe it'll come out at 11:11 tonight. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's still a decent chance it'll be formally published on 11/11. I just saw 8/8 on my screen, so it is what it is. I've checked my email a couple times to see if in the meantime it's come through. It has not, but that's okay. So anyway, I will be putting this up on YouTube. So for anybody who might want to come back to that meditation, or if you want to share it with anybody who might benefit from that meditation, I would really appreciate that. And yeah, I think that is all I have to say for now. Let there be light, liberating the heart of humanity to create heaven on earth. I think it'd make a good gift for people too. People who are on the path, on the journey, especially the new ones. But you know, as we're approaching the holiday season and Black Friday, I'm focusing on books this year anyway, because I'm trying to not be so materialistic in what I gift my nieces and things. They already have so much stuff. I was already going to get them books. And then I was like, well, this is on brand. This is on theme. So if that resonates with you at all, I would so appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, I wrote this from my heart and with the intention that it would benefit whoever you know, its path crossed. So I hope that it does benefit and it does resonate. And any support in getting it out there and getting it shared is so appreciated, because that is really what helps to build the momentum with book sales and getting the message out there. So thank you for that. And just to put this out there as well, I have restructured the back end of my school to be different tiers of memberships. So based on a membership model, there is a monthly call and a like working with the sacred wheel of the year, and then my full on Path to Mastery weekly container, ranging from just $11 a month. And then if you pay for the full year, it's cheaper. And then up to $144, which is probably going to go up after November. We'll see, because this is a very, very discounted price based on what it's valued at. So it was very much the guidance. I was like, is this what I meant to price it at? And yeah, so anyway, those are available. And I think I might do a kind of book club thing in the in the first tier membership, and then there's much deeper support in the other tiers as well. So if that resonates, I am here. I would love to answer more questions. There's more details on my website, and onward and upward. Let there be light. Anyway, before we hop off, is there any final questions or comments? All good? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Happy 11/11. Thank you so much all for being here. Take care. Thank you. Hugs and congrats. Wait, Samsung, send me a send me a message if you desire, because I don't know who you are. Maybe after this. Yeah. All right. Much love to you. Thank you.